This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video.
Hello divers, thanks for joining me today. What we have here is version 2.0 of the double tank adapter. Now, one of the things that bothered me about the original double tank adapter that came out a couple of months ago was the fact that the mounting studs here and here and the bolts that held on the single tank adapters on either side were offset. So I've come up with this design. This is also a prototype, but I've come up with this design and it's almost finished, and it does allow the symmetrical positioning of the mounting bolt for the single tank adapters and also the stud. So the way this works is that it is actually mounted using a square piece of 1-inch aluminum, and what I've done with this is I've drilled obviously some holes in there, and so I'm able to take some short bolts here and here, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I've taken some short bolts, and that's what fastens the single tank adapter on each side to the square aluminum bar tube. And so then what that allows is, because those are short bolts facing out, it allows a longer stud here and here and here and here to go through the center of the channel, the center of the square tube, and allows it to be mounted in a conventional way. So this is a much more elegant solution than using high density polymer, which was what I used in the double tank adapter version 1.0. Okay, so what we're going to do here next is put some tank bands on there and then stick this on a set of independent doubles, and we'll take a look at how all that works. So here I have mounted the 4 tank bands, cam bands for the tanks, and one of the things that I've discovered is that the orientation of the tank bands onto the double tank adapter is significant. So this is the side here that has the stud that's going to the plate, and then this is the back. This is where the back would be. Alright, so what I found out is that it's actually best to have the band facing so it would close on the back of the tank rather than toward the front of the tank. And this allows you to do a couple of things. One is it allows you to put a weight pouch here on the front close to the wing in case you need trim weights. And the second thing it does allow you to do is have enough band in order to put the Velcro strap down. Even though these bands look very generic, the cam bands look very generic, there is a difference. There are some brands which are too long to be able to use this. So what you want to use is one of the tank bands that's shorter. I did have a conversation with one of these companies and said, you know, your tank bands are too long. Even if you're using 8-inch diameter tanks like steel tanks, and the response was that we don't need to cut them shorter. You could just Velcro it to the outside of the weight pouch if you have a weight pouch. So I didn't really think that was a good explanation as to what to do to handle the fact that their tank band was too long. Alright, anyway, so orientation of the tank band on the double tank adapter is important, and so what we're going to do is stick this on a set of regular K-valve tanks. Of course, when you do that, the left-hand tank does have to be facing backwards. If you use a set of modular tanks, obviously you don't need to do that, but the whole purpose behind the independent back mount doubles is that you have restrictions on what is available for you to use tank-wise. So what I'm going to do with this video clip is install the double tank adapter version 2.0 on our tanks. And as I mentioned, you should orient this a particular way. This, of course, is going to be the front. Okay, so if we're diving with standard tanks, the left-hand tank needs to be backwards. All right, so we're going to slide all this down here. I'm not blocking much. Okay. And once you get this down, you might have to adjust the tank fans a little bit to get everything all set up. You do have to do some wiggling. Okay, so that's about a nice height that I'm interested in doing. And as I mentioned, if you have on the upper band, if you have some trim weight pouches on there, you're going to need to move this back a little bit. So I'm going to put this up so I have some more room. Alright, so then I'm just going to close my tank fans on there. Okay, alright, so now we have our system. If you have your tank fans on tight, this can be very, very rigid. So might tighten this up a little bit. Okay, rigid, that's pretty good. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to put on a plate in the wing. So at this point, the process is exactly the same as if you had a set of banded manifolded doubles. You have the two studs that are exposed here, and so we're going to take our wing, in this case my favorite type of wing, a Dive-Rite DXP. Get some of the air out of this. Okay. And then we're going to take our plate. This plate is one of the kinds of plates that you can actually use without the double tank adapter because it's got these two double slots on either side. But with the double tank adapter, you can actually use any plate that you want because of the way that the structure is. Okay, so we have those two things, and here are my nuts. I'm going to put these on. And at this point, we're all set to go diving. Of course, this is a plate that I wanted to use for demonstration purposes, so it doesn't have a harness on it yet. But at this point, we're actually ready to go diving with independent back-mounted double tanks. Okay, so that's it for this video. I wanted to primarily show everyone the new design or new material for the double tank adapter 2.0.
This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.